Hey, what's going on, Crypto Warriors? King here.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay.
Of course, you know it's from the Gentlemen of Crypto, Monday through Friday, every day at 10ish. But today we are here with a special sponsored ICO review. Again, keyword is sponsored, so we'll just kind of lay out what this ICO is, what they do, some of our thoughts on it. But of course, you need to do your own research before you buy. Always. Right. Always do that. But so today's ICO we have is going to be called, Gibraltar Blockchain Exchange.
Oh, yeah.
Gibraltar Blockchain Exchange. Their ticker symbol is going to be GBX. That is going to be Golf Bravo X-Ray. Forewarning, there is another one that's out there, a new ICO that's coming out with the same ticker symbol as GBX. Make sure you look at the right one. Make sure you're looking at the right website. Mm-hmm. But be sure to put the website in the links in the notes below as well. We will put the Telegram channel. I know they're pretty active on there. Yep. So just let you know about that. And also when it comes to security, one of the things they had in their notes is that the only time they'll be offering any payments, token sales, or anything, or accepting any funds is directly through their website. So if you are on their Reddits or their Telegrams or Discords or YouTubes, whatever, and they're soliciting funds, do not send your money. Yeah, don't click. Don't click.
Please don't send me.
But Gibraltar, so just kind of tell you a little bit about Gibraltar Exchange. They are, Gibraltar aims to be the world's first licensed and regulated token sale platform and digital asset exchange operated by a European Union regulated stock exchange. They're going to be using a sponsor and rules-based system. The GBX will apply to be licensed by the Gibraltar Financial Services Commission under the Financial Services Distributed Ledger Technology Providers Regulations 2017. So all that, what does that mean? Well, what they're aiming to do is to be the first regulated and globally listed exchange for ICO and utility tokens. They want to springboard them from their exchange. So the way it works, basically, framework. Yeah, they want to set a frame. So they are looking. They're saying, hey, in the next 2 to 3 years, they think regulations are going to really increase, especially for ICOs, where they won't be able to be listed on regular exchanges. Of course, you know our thoughts. We're all about decentralized exchanges. We're about decentralization. However, from an institutional and traditional point of view, I can understand where this could be popular. It might be worth something. They're saying that, hey, since all these regulations are going to come in place, we're going to have not only just a regular cryptocurrency exchange, but we're going to have an exchange which onboards ICOs, make sure they get the funding they need, and make sure they launch effectively on that specific exchange.
Absolutely.
Now, from a institutional point of view, again, think of it as Coinbase. Yeah. If Coinbase were to have their own token, they say we're only going to launch these 2 or 3 ICOs on our platform. However, if a lot of people flock to it like they did for Ripple and buy it at $3 a pop, then the token that you would need to buy it through Coinbase would be worth something. So that's what Gibraltar is aiming to do. They're saying that, hey, we're going to work with regulators. We're going to have these what's called sponsors work with ICOs and make sure we onboard them appropriately.
Absolutely.
So a little bit about the token itself. The token is called the ROC token. Its symbol will be RKT. And they are looking to have a total token supply of 900 million RKTs. Their minimum sale target for this token sale is going to be $10 million. And that token sale will be going on from February 7th to February 14th. So only 7 days, which is pretty interesting. You know, we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But that's pretty interesting. The token price for this token sale is going to be 10 cent USD for 1 RKT. But they say tokens may be purchased in fractions up to 18 decimal places. So, again, make sure you're there on their website when you're buying it. It'll be 7 days from February 7th to February 14th. Yep. And the token itself is going to be 10 cent a token.
Oh, yeah. So 10 cent mark, very low barrier to entry. So getting into the market isn't hard. It's only $100 is the minimum. So for those of you who don't have the funds you think you may need, it's a very low barrier of entry. So at 10 cent per, that's a pretty good deal to start. And also, like I stated, it's 900 million tokens total, but they will only be issuing a small amount for the token sale, which is only 7 days, very short time period. So that seems like they have a plan going forward to get the funding that they need. So it looks pretty promising on their end in order to get the money. At least 10 million is their goal. So very, very feasible to do that.
And again, from an investor standpoint, you said $100 minimum is 10 cent a token. Again, if this is executed the right way, I can see where the value is at. You know, I can see how that it could increase in value. Again, it's kind of, I mentioned Ripple as a joke, but seriously, kind of the same way Ripple is doing it, how they're advertising to banks and big institutions. If that's their game plan, is to advertise to institutions, to big ICOs, to banks, to credit, traditional investors, then yeah, I can see where it works, because those are the people who are scared to go on decentralized exchange. They're scared to come in the Wild West of crypto.
They need regulation.
They need the regulation to make them feel safe, because as I forgot who called it, but as the Ned Flanders out there, they don't want to break any rules, even though they're imaginary. They want to do the right thing. And this is a platform saying, hey, we'll do it the right way for you, depending on what government and what regulators want this ICO to look like.
Absolutely.
Again, long term, I don't think it, who knows, it will be around long term, because as more decentralized exchanges pop up, there might not be a need for this. However, short term for sure, 10 cent a token. They're saying we're going to provide this framework and this order. They specifically use the word order as well, that a lot of institutional investors want to see. So it kind of, I don't know, it baffles me. It's 7 days for a token sale period is very short, which means to me they know they're either going to have that money. That $10 million target is very low, actually, especially with the team's experience. Of course, do your own research on them. But it makes me think either they have a game plan that they can readily execute, or I don't know, something else.
Yeah, or they have sponsors ready to jump in. Like we mentioned, sponsors will be the ones who determine which ICOs have the criteria to join. You also have early investors who are providing liquidity on that exchange, so that they are able to trade and go forward with the things that they do without much, of a slowdown. And they also, as you can see, they're going to comply with AML, KYC laws, anti-money laundering, and know your customer laws. So as you can tell, there will be a rigorous listing process, as you can see here. And one of the biggest things I think in that process is that they will have a framework for how ICOs should go, which will be backed by the different regulations around the world or regulatory environment. So looks good for that.
And then you mind if I scroll this?
Yeah.
So a couple things as well. At the top, you can see, they have the documents, contact them. The white paper's on here. The white paper is 48 pages long. I am, wholeheartedly against long white papers. But for those who want to do a lot of reading, they have a lot of information in there. Their marketing team did a great thing. As you see on the left side, they have LinkedIn's on there, Facebook, Twitter's, Reddit's, Bitcoin forum. So again, they hit all the marks when it comes to marketing. They're featured already on Forbes, Bloomberg. Yeah, we're talking about them. So they're featured here at Kirby Crypto, CoinDesk, Cointelegraph, NASDAQ. The CEO has videos on YouTube. It looks pretty, but again, we know when we're talking about ICOs, you need to do your own research, because, at this point for us, the prettier the picture, the bigger the red flag almost sometimes. I don't need to see a pretty picture. I just need to see a product, a working product, and an executable game plan, and someone at the helm that can make sure it's done. Again, CEO right here, you can see is Nick Cohen. He has over 35 years experience in these type of markets. One important thing to mention as well, this would be the only crypto exchange that is actually owned by a regular stock exchange. So the Gibraltar Stock Exchange will actually basically own the Gibraltar Blockchain Exchange as well. So centralized, clearly centralized. However, again, just from an investment point of view, if they do this thing the right way, I can see where the money can be made, especially at 10 cent a token.
Yeah. And one of the things, too, is that they're not allowing U.S., Japan, China, or Korea residents. However, in the EU and different countries around the world, you can invest in this ICO. And like I said, the barrier to entry is pretty low. So like I said, executed correctly, they can definitely get the money they need to go forward. One thing I did notice was, two things, sorry. Not all digital assets are available to users, which that can mean a number of things, meaning they may cut off access to you depending on where you live. Or, like we said, they have their system where they figure out whether or not you are qualified to be on the exchange. Also, from a security standpoint, actually a good sign is that they are using air-gapped wallets, which is the most secure way to send it. Also, multi-signature technology is being used in order to secure those funds, because exchanges get hacked all the time. As much security is out there, if you create a centralized hub of where people can look, they are targeted more than anywhere else. So the security looks good so far, but like we've always said, you have to wait and see until the product is out and running and people trust it. So
So it looks like their phase 1 milestones, which is Q4 of 2017, Q1 right now, 2018 we're in. They're looking to build that network of sponsors. They're submitting the applications to the GFSC for their exchange to be listed as a token sale platform and digital asset exchange. They're launching their blockchain innovation center. So they have a lot of stuff going on. Mm-hmm. Again, lofty project. It's a lot to get done in a short amount of time. But we'll see. Again, a lot of these projects, these are no deals. This project can be completed if it is executed the correct way. Mm-hmm. Again, it kind of throws me off the 7-day token sale. I don't think I've really seen this too often in the space, if ever, as of now, which to me says, hey, we already have the money. We know people are coming in, but we're also opening up to others. And again, that could be a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because, it looks like they're moving forward with the project. It could be a bad thing because, if it's already that structure, I don't know what's going to happen next, especially as the new guy coming in at 10 cents a pop. But either way, you know what? You can't really lose big if you decide to go into it. Of course, you should only be using disposable income on these type of things anyway. And again, this isn't financial advice. We're not professionals. This is just what we look at, what we think about doing.
It's educational.
This is educational. But I don't know. What are your other thoughts on it?
Well, looking at it from a investor standpoint, like you said, I can see it going forward. Looking at it as a crypto person who's into the cryptocurrency aspect of decentralization, I don't see myself using it too much, simply because, for one, U.S. residents can't get involved with it. However, there is a large group of people who understand that within the industry, you can't use your emotions to get in on good tokens. Because honestly, at 10 cent, that's a very low price point. We've seen some that are 10 times as much, five times as much. So very low price point. And in the future, we will have institutional investors looking for places to invest and to trade, legally in a regulatory environment.
And that's the biggest thing. I think that's the biggest thing. Again, Bitcoin's a hit on the head for us as users. Would we use this platform? No. Would I invest in it? If I was able to, of course. Mm-hmm. Possibly, because, like you just said, I look at this as being the Coinbase of exchanges, except having their own token. Mm-hmm. And I look and say, if Coinbase did already have their own token, how much would it be worth?
Coinbase token would be...
It would be worth a lot more than 10 cents. I'll give them that. Whether I like Coinbase or not, their token will be worth more than 10 cents. So again, if they can actually put this plan together and execute it the correct way, and just the fact that they aren't including U.S. investors and Chinese investors and all that, that's already going to make the price point higher if it's executed the right way and it hits an exchange. Yep. That will make the price point higher because so many people are left out. So that is just, factual from an investor standpoint. And then the second thing is, let's say they do get rolling. You don't need 100 coins on the exchange. Coinbase has, 3 or 4 or something now? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if they were to go forward and they say, hey, we're going to put 5 coins on our exchange, and only 2 of them, let's say 2 of them end up being the premier projects in the space right now, then yes, that could generate more value for their token RKT, the ROC token. Again, this is all predicated on there isn't a big hack, there isn't a big scam, or people money don't disappear, or as soon as the token sale is finished and hits exchange, it drops down in value to less than a penny. That is all predicated on those things. So that's all predicated on what the team does. But is it a chance for that value to be there? Of course. I think it is, for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I do want to point out, though, that they didn't list that they had intentions to create a phone app, which, as we've seen in this space, there are a lot of different ways to purchase cryptocurrency through the app, as well as do trades through your app. They have a web-based platform planned, but I did not see a plan for a phone app, which may come back to bite in the future, because with more people using their phones to do daily transactions, that is one of the things I think people will look for. Do they have an app? Can I use it on my phone? If not, then you will limit yourself to those institutional investors, so to say.
And it looks like that's what they're trying to do,
Yeah,
So here is the CEO. Mm-hmm. He's been interviewed on Bloomberg. Again, it's clear to me they already had the money. They had the marketing. Their team, let's go down to their team. Their team is actually huge. I might have just went back by mistake. Let's see. Yeah, their team is huge. There we go. Plenty of experience with all the guys and girls on the team, men and women on that team. But yeah, it is a big team.
Yeah.
Tech team. So again, they have the people in place. Again, do your own research. Make sure all these people are real. Check out their profiles, not just on LinkedIn. Do some deep diving on it.
Past projects they've been on.
Yeah, past projects they've been on, successes they had. Check out the Gibraltar Stock Exchange they already have. But yeah, they have everything in place to see. It's just about if they will. So 10 cent a token. $100 is the minimum for one rock token, RKT. Again, Gibraltar Blockchain Exchange, GBX, not to be confused with the other GBXs out there right now. February 7th to February 14th, they'll be having that sale of 7 days. They're looking to raise a minimum target sale of $10 million. Easily attainable. I mean, just with the people on their team, I think they could just do it themselves. So easily attainable. I mean, other than that, I mean, I look forward to watching to see what does happen because, of course, we always need more exchanges. We need the competition in the space. And yeah, you know, again, I look at it from an investor and say, if Coinbase had a token, how much would it be worth? That's the way I look at them. With that being said, that is all predicated on them actually getting this exchange up and running, getting the regulations going, and actually having a couple of good ICOs come through. Because as an investor on the flip side, the risk is definitely higher because if they did bring on an ICO that wasn't a good one, it was a scam, there was a hack, that if it's the first one, that's going to be bad for business. So again, never invest more than you can lose. But do your own research. You know, to others, they might think this is a rock star ideal. Some people might not like it. But again, it's a chance to possibly make some money in a short amount of time. So
absolutely.
We'll see.
Looking forward to seeing how they progress.
For sure. Thanks for watching. Of course, we'll be having some more sponsor ICO reviews coming your way. Again, we just want to introduce them to you. Make sure you do your own due diligence on it. And, you know, hey, if you like it, leave a comment or tell us what you think about it.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you. See you next.